How we doing today, guys? It's Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. And unless you've been living under a rock for the last 24 hours, you have probably heard that Chris Rock got, rocked at the Oscars last night by Will Smith after making a joke about his wife and the fact that she doesn't have any hair, or at least it's really hard for her to grow any amount of hair because of this disease she has, this autoimmune disease she has. Now, my understanding is, at least according to rumors and reports, that she'd only ever mentioned this like one time on Instagram. So who knows? Maybe Chris Rock didn't know, but considering the relationship they're all supposed to kind of have, or at least have had in the past, you'd think he'd probably know that, but I don't know. Who knows? But before we get into this article, make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. Make sure you leave me a comment down below because that really helps out the algorithm to help boost things up. And send it out to all your friends because, if not, nobody's ever really going to see this. So let's get into this because a CNN analyst has a very curious take on what happened last night. CNN analyst suggests audience reaction to Will Smith's slap is a psychological case study on how Trump got normalized. That crazy, wild Donald Trump, the madman out there. That was a pretty good screenshot. A CNN analyst suggested that the reaction of the Academy Awards audience to Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on stage is a psychological case study on how Trump got normalized. What are the details? The analyst in question is Asha Rangappa, whose Twitter profile indicates she's also a former FBI special agent, a Yale faculty member, and a lawyer. Now, what a shocker, she worked for the FBI. Here's what Rangappa tweeted Sunday night regarding the slap's aftermath. So, did anyone walk out of that after that happened, or are we getting an independent psychological case study on how Trump got normalized? What? These people are insane. Rangappa, who reportedly bullied and doxed a 22-year-old female Washington Free Beacon intern in 2020 and called her a Karen after Twitter ordered Rangappa to take down the offending post, on Monday morning mocked the notion that she was comparing Smith to Trump. The MAGA hate emails have begun, which tells me that the below tweet has made its way to the Breitbart ecosystem, she tweeted. The sad part is that they're so stupid they don't realize I'm not comparing Smith to Trump, I'm comparing the audience to them. Rangappa added that she found the trigger in the form of Fox News story on her tweet. Seriously, like clockwork. As soon as Fox News, etc. publishes something, I get unhinged, racist, threatening emails flooding my inbox. I highly doubt that. Show the receipts, lady. As Eric July always says, show me the receipts. Let's see the pictures. Screenshots, you can black out all the names if you want. Show me the receipts. Agreement. She wasn't the only individual to equate the incident and its aftermath to Trump and other social political forces. Shock jock Howard Stern, he hasn't even been relevant since the 90s. On his Monday show, that this is how Trump got away with shit. Will Smith and Trump are the same guy. Oh, so people were comparing them. Strategist Steve Schmidt, emphasizing the power of group psychology, asked, "Do you want to know how Trump happened? Watch the Oscars and the crowd reaction. The pull to belong is very powerful. People to conform to what is happening around you is a powerful tide. Applause for assault in a tuxedo in California is the same as applause for assault while wearing a red hat in Alabama. That was a crime. There's no virtue attached to it. None whatsoever." God, these guys are... What kind of bubble do these people... He's literally describing what all the woke cult people do. It's literally the exact same kind of stuff that happens in California and Los Angeles, where they all have groupthink. It's literally the exact same thing. CNN correspondent Amer Jamez tweeted, "Slapping someone is a crime. That's what Mr. Smith did on live TV in public while he was being seen across the globe. That the American audience gave him in a standing ovation after that says a lot about us, our culture, and how Trumpian came to prominence in this country." Another Twitter said, "If you're curious why Germans allowed Hitler to happen, or Americans allowed George W. Bush to lead us into Iraq, or why Russians are allowing Putin to murder Ukrainians, look at how the Oscar crowd and his supporters handled Will Smith tonight." I got to comment on that one because guess what? The New York Times was the one helping lead the charge into Iraq and Afghanistan with George W. Bush. Okay? So check your history there, darling. I'm assuming. Sounds like a girl. I don't know. Ooh, did I just assume someone's gender? Oh, my gosh. All right, pushback. Not everybody saw things quite that way, however. Brandon Straka, creator of the anti-Democrat Walk Away campaign that made headlines during the 2020 election, tweeted that Smith just unapologetically normalized violence at the Oscars, and the left-wing Hollywood audience continued to clap and cheer for him and then hand him a trophy. Apparently, if you can't take a joke, it's not only acceptable to cancel someone, you can charge a stage and hit them. Anything else? Smith slapped Rock after the comedian joked about the lack of hair on Jada Pinkett Smith's head. Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, revealed in 2018 her diagnosis of alopecia, an autoimmune disease that results in hair loss. After Smith slapped Rock, Smith turned around and walked back to his seat, sat down, and twice hollered at Rock, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." Yes, and it was very nice. Go check out the video for yourself. It causes me encoding issues. Sorry. Minutes later, Smith received a Best Actor Oscar. Oh, I didn't realize it was minutes later. That's hilarious. I don't watch the Oscars. But Twitter erupted when this happened, and I saw all of that, and that was hilarious. Minutes later, Smith received a Best Actor Oscar for King Richard, in which he portrayed Richard Williams, the father of Dennis Legend, Vina, and Serenus. Smith got a standing ovation as he took stage, after which part of his acceptance speech, said that Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family. Smith also invoked God and said he's being called to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. The actor also issued an apology, but not to Rock. What a shocker. "I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees," Smith said. "Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. Love will make you do crazy things. Thank you. I hope the Academy invites me back." So, yeah, that's kind of how Twitter reacted, at least some of the CNN analysts and all the rest of that. My favorite way Twitter reacts, though, is, of course, memes. So let's go through a few of these, and then I'll give you my take on the whole situation. So here's a little combat one. This one is from Rocky. It says on the bottom, "If I die, I die," just like in the movie. The Pursuit of Slappiness, I thought that one was rather entertaining. This one is a ping on the Will Smith Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. "I got into one little fight, and my mom got scared. She said, 'You can't slap Chris Rock because your wife has no hair.'" I thought that one was pretty good. Oops. I thought that one was pretty good as well. But there's a bunch of them. Go give Adam Krigler a follow on Twitter if you're into that kind of thing. I think he's on pretty much every other social media as well. And then this one, I loved Celebrity Deathmatch back in the day. I miss this show so much. "Even after that brutal blow, we still have to call Chris Rock the winner, because his wife ain't effing other dudes." And that's a whole other backstory of their relationship that I am not getting into. But this one I thought was particularly good because the look on her face when Chris Rock makes that joke, if looks could kill, that whole crowd would have been, every person that would have been laughing in that crowd would have dropped dead in a heartbeat. But yeah, execute Order 66, and boom, yeah. It's one of those things, I think at certain point when, people want to talk bad about a lot of the things that's happened in Will Smith's past between him and his wife and all that kind of stuff, and that's their business. You know what I mean? That's not our business. That's their business. How they want to do their relationship is their business. It's not any of the rest of ours. So whether you want to call him whatever, which is some of the stuff that's been trending on Twitter right now. God, that's a tongue twister, ain't it? That's their business. You know what I mean? And anybody knows it's been married for any length of time. Issues happen. My grandparents were married for like 35 years, and I was raised by them, and I grew up during their times where they had issues. There was a point where my grandparents didn't sleep together. They didn't sleep in the same room. Hell, they didn't technically even sleep in the same house. We were just on the same property, and it's one of those things where, it didn't stay that way. Everything was squared away, and they got back into sleeping in the same room and everything else. But sometimes you go through rough times, and sometimes things change. That doesn't mean if somebody insults your wife, you don't do something about it. Now, the real question, I think, the real debate people should be having is not whether or not you should smack a motherfucker if he insults your wife, because think about that at some point, especially if you're a man watching this. Think about this at some point. If your wife, is there no line that someone can't cross by saying something so disgusting and messed up to your wife that you wouldn't do something about it? Physically, especially? Or even? I don't know. I know there's some lines I would definitely cross with my wife, and that would cause me to lay hands on somebody, but hell, she'd probably get to him before I did. She's a fierce little thing. So, but I think that's really the question we should be having, or that's the debate we should be having. That's the question we should be asking ourselves is, did the joke cross that line to warrant this kind of a response? And I think that's up to the individual to decide. And in this case, Will Smith thought it was. Maybe it was a look from his wife. Maybe it was his own thing. I don't know. But the question we shouldn't be having is whether or not he should have done it at all, which is what a lot of people reacted by saying, "Oh, you couldn't possibly ever do this." No. There's some lines that people cross, and they need a smack in the face. And that's one of the problems with the internet. And that's one of the problems with the Twitters and everything else. The internet has taught people that they think they can say whatever they want and not expect consequences, because that's the way it works on the internet. You just hide. You run away on the internet. It's no big deal. Nobody can hurt you. But in real life, your words have consequences. And actions can be taken if your words cross certain lines. And I think that's what Chris Rock learned. Chris Rock got rocked by Will Smith. Something fierce. The real question is, was the joke far enough to do that? Not whether or not he should have done it, or not whether or not at any point there is a reason to defend your wife in this way. But hey guys, that's just my common sense take. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you have not already, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe if you are not already. This is Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. Thanks for watching.